I'm having an extramarital affair. It's nourishing, exciting, compromising, sacrificial, it's addictive, and my husband knows about it. People dream of meeting the love of their life, their soulmate, that connection, an ideal, uncompromising, unconditional love for the whole of their life. And that's what I found. It's not traditional, but my husband doesn't mind. In fact, he's really happy for me. So who is this lover and this affair? It was my first term at university studying philosophy and psychology. It was late in the evening and it was raining, torrential rain. And as I walked the streets with no coat and no umbrella, darting from one shelter to another, I spotted a light in one of the university buildings. So I ran, heart pounding. I entered the doorway. I pushed the door and it was open and it was bright. Shaking myself dry, I was now surrounded by people and there were drawings on the walls. My heart still pounding and my head now spinning. In an instant, almost at first sight, I fell head over heels in love that night. And this love affair, like a line through my life, has continued even after I became a farmer's wife. So who is this lover with a hold so strong that I'm willing to risk it all? What if I told you that my extramarital affair was architecture? Could you? Would you believe that a vocation could nourish, excite, and make me willing to sacrifice? I am an architect since that night in the rain. It is who I am to the core of my being. It is my heart and my soul, and it fuels me and it drives me. As children, we have this limitless imagination. As architecture, again, it lets me see the world through a child's eyes, believing that anything is possible and achievable. I take my pencil and I draw a line, and as if by magic, it develops into a building, a home, or a village. Architecture future-proofs my soul. Like my 3 beautiful children, it is my legacy, leaving a physical, indelible mark on the world, like stains in your heart. People search a lifetime to find that passion and love. So how lucky am I? Because without passion, there cannot be success. Without belief, there cannot be success. But without love, there is nothing. They say that you can't have it all. Are you having it all? What if I told you that you could make your dreams real? What would you compromise or sacrifice? Would you sacrifice 7 years, lovers, tears, nights away from your family? Because that's what it will take, and it won't always be easy. But it will nourish, and it will excite. And like any love affair, it will make your heart beat that little bit faster. When I was studying to become an architect, my then boyfriend was a little concerned that we weren't spending enough time together. It was my last term at university. I had one chance and one opportunity to see how good I could be, one chance to really test my ability. So I packed and I left. But within a few months, I made history and I was awarded the Glasgow and Scottish Medals for Architecture. Moments in life are fleeting and you must choose well. But how do you know what choices to make? Which ones are the right ones? And how do you overcome the fear of getting it wrong? Architecture is my love affair and it helps me decide and it grounds my fear. But how do you decide? What grounds your fear? Because we're all searching for those answers, for control, sometimes to rationalize our emotions, to overcome our own fear or trauma or our own personal problems. A defining moment came for me when my mother was diagnosed with cancer at 42. As she braved the trip to break the news, she sat on my bed, on my blue and pink quilt. She was frail, traumatized, and scared. And my heart was silently breaking. I was consumed by the fear of losing her. I felt helpless. But I had a pencil. And as I crumbled and crashed, there was architecture, the place where I could determine my fate. So I took my pencil and I drew all night long. And as the sun started to rise, I opened the window in my basement flat and I could smell the dew coming off the grass. The world that morning seemed so full of hope and newness that my fear was pushed back. A few weeks later, I would make history again, and my works were exhibited in Glasgow, Edinburgh, and in London. 13 years later, my mother died unexpectedly, aged 55. I was consumed, overwhelmed with the grief. In an instant, my world smashed and my heart imploded. I was lost. But I had a pencil. I took my pencil and I wrote my plan because I would determine my destiny and my fate. Within 6 months, I was awarded Business Person of the Year for the first time. Her loss had propelled me. My spirit was galvanized rather than torn. 3 years later, I would win Business Person of the Year again after the birth of my second child. Architecture has scaffolded my emotions. It has grounded my fears. It's founded on intimacy. We share dreams, making them into tangible, touchable, soul-lifting, spirit-raising things. People often say, why not give up architecture and be a full-time mother instead? But you see, my children are an extension of me. They're an extension of my dreams and my legacy. And I owe it to their future and to all the women who have come before that they see me strong, determined, and uncompromising in the pursuit of my dreams. Because without passion, there cannot be success. Without belief, there cannot be success. But without love, there is nothing. Architecture is the most optimistic vocation in the world. It's about building the future. It's about constant change, looking forward with vision and not fearing it. With this pencil, I can change my world. What tools do you have that you could change yours? So often, we doubt ourselves, our ability and our skill, that little voice inside our heads telling us that we can't win. When I was 12, my mother said to me, someone has to come first, and it may as well be you. Someone must come first, and why wouldn't it be you? Someone has to come first, and it will be you. So I take my pencil and I write my plan. My spirit is galvanized rather than torn. My love affair and my passion is where I determine my fate. Because the answers are all within me. And guess what? The answers are all within you. Because without passion, there cannot be success. Without belief, there cannot be success. But without love, there is nothing. What if a vocation and a calling was your soulmate? What if it was your greatest strength? It gave you confidence and that power. What if by taking a pencil, you could determine your fate and your world? How much would that bring, and how much happier might you be? Architecture has future-proofed my soul. It is my legacy, like my 3 children and my husband. It is my love affair, and it will always be there. Have you found your love affair? Or is it patiently, silently waiting out there for you to decide? Because without passion, there cannot be success. Without belief, there cannot be success. But without love, there is nothing. Thank you so much for your time.